be like, nah, we trying to separate ourselves from Al Qaeda because they be wilding. Like they be doing a little bit too much. We just trying to really, we just want our country back. And that's the type of town that they say they on. So we gonna see, man. Prayers up for everybody in Afghanistan, man. Talibanistan.
Al Qaeda be wilding should be the name of the episode.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the 1 a.m. podcast. I believe this is episode 3, episode 5, if we count the 2 verses that we did. Fellas, how are we doing? Hold on. My name is Rashad Milligan. Just if you're new to the channel and everything like that. If you're new to the channel, this is the road to 2K subs. I'm joined here by my co-host, Jelani Easley. And, I gave the whole government. I'm so sorry. See, I'm slipping. I'm slipping up.
You straight. You straight. Listen,
I got you.
We might have like a marketing deal, you know what I mean? Or the government out. You never know.
Right.
I'm here with my co-host, Rashad Milligan. I'm here with my co-host, Jelani Easley. And my boy, Mo Knows. Mo Knows is all right for you, right, Mo?
Yes, sir.
AKA RB Mo. But yeah, man, this road to 2K subs if you're new to the channel. It's been a couple days since I've uploaded, and a lot of stuff has happened. So I just want to take care of my people first with just give you some updates in the women's basketball world. Danielle Robinson won the game the other night for the Indiana Fever against the Dallas Wings. Indiana is currently playing with 7 players thanks to injury. Kaiser Gondrajic is out on personal leave, as I previously stated with another video earlier on this channel. And now Jessica Breland is also taking a personal leave. So that's something to look out for when you have 2 players on the same team taking a personal leave at the same time. They're not winning a lot this season. So it's kind of like, what the heck is going on in Indiana? With Chicago, the Chicago Sky, James Wade, he tripped a ref, and the Sky went on a 7-0 run, but they still lost to the Minnesota Lynx on Saturday without Candace Parker. The Lynx lost earlier this week to the Connecticut Sun, and all the answers in the postgame press conference were 25 to 10 free throw attempts. Connecticut had 25, of course, and Minnesota had 10, and they lost by 11 points. And all the answers, every single answer in the press conference between all the players and the coach was 25 to 10. So the dream losing streak continues as Kennedy Carter still hasn't returned from her pre-Olympic break suspension. So it's been over about like a month and a half now. No Kennedy Carter, the third leading scorer for the Atlanta Dream. Tiffany Hayes tried to come back one game against the Sparks earlier this week, but she didn't look 100%, and she didn't play the next game, the following game, which was Saturday afternoon against the Phoenix Mercury. As for the Mercury, Skylar Diggins-Smith, who Kennedy outplayed last year in the Wubble, she went off for 26 points in a blowout win in Atlanta. Brittany Griner came out after the game with the fans in Atlanta and took a bunch of pics with them. Perhaps it was the Atlanta fans trying to recruit Brittany Griner to Atlanta. They need a big. They have $1 billion guards. They don't really need Joel Lloyd, in my opinion. They need a big, and BG would be that. As far as Saturday night, we had the 2021 Women's Basketball Hall of Fame introduction, and salute to that class: Debbie Brock, Carol Callan, Swen Cash, who I interviewed earlier this year, Tamika Catchings, Sue Donahoe, Lauren Jackson. Shout out to Lauren Jackson, who was the Batman when you're talking about the WNBA GOAT conversation. I know Sue Bird's in a lot of the conversations. My thing is, was Sue Bird ever the best player on the Storm for most of her career? You can make an argument she wasn't, thanks to Lauren Jackson and Breanna Stewart, who came down the line a couple years later. David Stern, God rest his soul, and Carol Stiff. So salute to the class of 2021 in the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. Fellas, now that we got that out the way, and I got to serve those people, DDG said, if you broke by chance. First of all, let me read out this actual tweet. By choice. Yeah. You're broke by choice. He said, if you're broke, it's 100% your fault. Making money is easier than ever these days. You just lazy as F and too comfortable. What is your reaction to that statement?
Go ahead, bro.
I feel like he's right to an extent. Like, actually, I feel like it is kind of true, just in the sense of like there's a lot of opportunities, and everybody's definition of broke is different, because he could see somebody who's making only like $50K a year, they broke, because especially in comparison to what he's making. So, I just think if you dead broke, if you not like if you ain't got no motion at all, then like I feel like a lot of times that's because people try to use different circumstances to hold them back. And they feel like, oh, they don't want to see me win, so I'm not going to be able to get this opportunity when it's just like, if you just try, like sometimes you just got to put yourself out there. But yeah, what you feel, Jelani?
That's such like a deep rooted statement, or I guess a question. I guess like you got some people obviously where like they're broke because of stuff that was beyond their control. Like if your house burns down or something like that, like you get like a medical situation you didn't see coming, and now you broke. You know what I'm saying? You can't work. And then you know what I mean. In that situation, it's not really anything you can do about that. But like Mo was saying, like if you don't have no job, or like you're not really trying, or you know what I'm saying, it's just a matter of like, are you? And I don't even pocket watch people, so like whatever, I don't really care what people do with their money. But it's, I guess for what he's saying, it's like, are you being responsible with your money? You know what I mean, to an extent, or you just you know what I mean. But that's I don't like when I don't like that tweet is just like people on Twitter spend way too much time worrying about other people's money. Like that's a real big part of Twitter is people like analyzing how people spend their money. It's just kind of corny to me.
No, for real. Like I feel like people be sitting here pocket watching. That's why I even brought up like, the term broke is in relevance to who the person who's saying it,
Yeah.
It's like, cause a broke person to me is like, you probably really on your last. But like a broke person to him is just like, oh, you work a little 9 to 5, all right, broke boy.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then also it brings us to the point when you were saying, I think if you reach a hard time, it's about your bounce back, and that's the thing. A lot of people don't look for the bounce back, so they stay in like, and they just kind of get into that cycle, Like I don't know about y'all, but I'm big on like frequencies and stuff like that. And if you stay in a low frequency and you just like, all right, I'm gonna be, like I'm just down bad, and that's just how the world wants me to be, then you probably gonna stay down bad,
I mean, LeBron is broke to Jeff Bezos. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all relative. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
For sure. That's a great point. Those are great points, and especially what Mo said of just focusing on the negative of playing the card of victim and stuff like that. DDG, of course, a couple days later, like once the outrage happened and he was on Shade Room, he cleared it up and he was like, "Well, I can only say for America." Because I don't know about how living in the third world country and stuff, because I've only lived in America, so I can only speak for Americans. But someone was like, well, what about 10 years ago when your mama was boiling water for y'all to take baths? And he said, well, his response to that was, my mama this past month made $20,000 off of Snapchat. We can make money off of our phones now. So he is saying anybody can make money if you have a smartphone at this point. So it's like, if you broke, you just lazy. And that's the thing that you made for yourself, because there are so many avenues to make money on the internet and on the phone. My response to that, just immediate response, is everybody doesn't have the personality to be a social media influencer, to be something on the internet. But what do you guys have to say to that?
I mean, I don't know what his mom does on Snapchat, so I'm not gonna comment on that. But I mean, like you were saying, I mean, it's a lot of people don't even have the information to be able to know, like, okay, how can I make money outside of like just going to a regular 9 to 5? You know what I mean? So I mean, that's one thing. If you do have the resources, or like people be like you should like just go scam or do something like that. Like you still got to have somebody to teach you how to, like, you can't just wake up one day and be like, oh, I want to be a scammer. You know what I mean? You got to find a certain method or a way to do it and know somebody. Same with like being, I guess like a drug dealer or something like that. If that's something you want to do, like you still got to know the connections and stuff like that. So it's, the majority of the people are just going to be like, all right, I would rather just get a 9 to 5 because I know for a fact it's a guaranteed paycheck. You know what I mean?
Hey, and I want to say this for all my scammers out there, man. Like, when you hit your lick, bro, think about how you're going to invest that money, like, on some real, because that's the problem. Too many of these scammers are sitting here, they get they lick, and then they just blow all the money, and then now you sitting here waiting for the next lick. And then for like a month or two, you down bad. And you sitting there, but it's just like, go ahead, bro. Like, just start investing in some stocks. Get some Bitcoin. Get some Dogecoin. Like, open an LLC. start getting some of those benefits, so I'm
They're
just
gonna
saying.
they're gonna have a what you call they're gonna have a financial literacy course for all the scammers.
They should.
Good. For
Don't
real.
spend it on the Mary Jeans, you know what I mean? Or at least stash some to the side to where if you get caught, like you got a cash stash buried somewhere or something, you know what I mean? Or
I think we also need to end this like thing in social media of this move of start a LLC. Like we should have a course on what you should do after you open the LLC, because too many people now just own a business. It's just sitting there and doing nothing, including myself. I have a couple businesses that are just sitting there doing nothing, but I just have the businesses, So it's like, I think that's also be a step of on maybe even a Twitter thread. You know what I'm saying? I see Twitter, like what Jelani was saying. Get a business, get an LLC. You telling me you gonna blow it at the club? You should spend that $60 on opening a business, start a business. And it's like, but no one tells you what to do once you open that business. It's just start a business. Get it. What are you doing with your life? Start a business. Get Bitcoin. Open up a Webull account or investing account. No one tells you what to do once you do those things. I think those are the next steps, I guess.
I feel like part of that though is like that's up. I don't know, like me telling you to start your business, I can't tell you what business is going to be profitable for you. So I feel with that, it's like, I think that's the starting step, and that's the opening to just get the LLC. But from there, you kind of gotta have to want it on your own. That kind of goes back into the DDG conversation. It's like you can open this LLC, like we could all have LLCs, but it's like, if I'm not really trying to pursue, like, all right, let me figure out how can I utilize this, if you're not really trying to utilize it to the best of your ability on your own, it's just kind of like nobody finna give you nothing. Nobody finna give you free money. It's like, I got my own thing I'm trying to get,
Remainder of 2021, I want people to stop pocket watching, you know what I mean? Regardless of whether you're broke or not, stop worrying about how other people spend their money unless they're like related to you or they affect your life in some type of way, you know what I mean? But outside, there's too many tweets like that, you know what I mean? Even if his point does have some validity to it, you know what I mean? It's just like, all right, why do you care? You know what I mean?
No, for real.
Well, I mean, he probably cares. You come in from his perspective, he's a millionaire at, what is he, like 22, 23? He's a millionaire at 23, maybe 24, 23, 24. And so literally everybody who's ever been in his life at some point has reached out to him for some money at this point. You know what I'm saying? And when you get to that point and everybody's asking you for money, my first thing when, I've already kind of thought of this when I've had flashes of people asking me for money is, dang, so like, how'd you find a way to pay the bill before, you knew I had more than, $1,000 in my bank account? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my first thought of how did you get this money beforehand? So he probably just got to the point where people kept asking him for money, where he was just like, okay, you know what? I tried to put people on, all my family members, because that's what he did. He moved out his entire family to LA from Michigan and all gave him social media accounts and handed off his YouTube channels to them and stuff like that to make some money, put his face in the videos for them to make some money and stuff like that. And it's like, at this point in his circle, in his bubble of life, everybody he's put on, whoever wanted to get on, is on. So he just like, if you're broke, it's by choice because I'm helping out everybody. So if you're coming to me at this point asking for a handout, and it's by choice and it's by laziness because I'm helping out. I'm giving people opportunities to make money. And it's up to you. What goes back to what Mo was saying, it's up to you to take the opportunity or not. But like you said, Jelani, like it's definitely, I don't think it's gonna end. Like, I appreciate the PSA of please stop pocket watching, but I think it's just literally like a part of life. Like, people are nosy. Like people can't mind their business. People are not happy with their own lives, so they're always gonna be looking at something else. So that was before social media, and social media just amplified it to a greater degree. And I think, but like the thing that I have a problem with social media talking about money is like these unrealistic expectations that were never there in life. It's like the like, oh, if you don't make 50,000, like what Mo was saying, if you don't make 50,000, you're broke. Like, that was never a problem before social media. But now, like, since, you can see what other people buying, which they're renting out to other folks, it's like, it's a big deal if you don't make a certain amount. I think that's what the toxic part is, because when people don't reach that and they think they're a failure when they're doing just fine. You can pay your bills in certain states without making $50,000 a year. But go ahead, Mo.
I mean, it's like kind of go back to what we were talking about on episode 1. It's like I ain't got to be pocket watching when we all in American Eagle jeans. You know, like like we all got on Hollister polos and stuff. We all right, cool. I don't care how much money you making because we all in the same fits. But now it's like you got dudes in here. You got dudes wearing Versace. You know, wearing. And I think one trend that needs to kind of stop on some real. I hate the big letters of whatever the brand is. Gucci, Versace, Miri. Like, bruh, that I don't know. It's like that be the cheapest stuff. It like if you actually go to these people's websites and actually look up their brands and stuff, the stuff with the big bolding, they know that the people who can barely afford it are going to go buy that, and it's going to get more people to go buy that. Yeah. But it's like the stuff that's really expensive is the freaking sweater that has no logos on it, but just extremely good fabric. That's $1,000. Right. You know, if you know, that's summer 2021 collection.
The white tees.
Right.
No, it's a fact. You talking about them clothing lines, like we were saying, man, like however you get your money, man, just, you know, if you want to splurge, you want to get an Amiri shirt, you know, you want to get some Amiri jeans. I mean, I'm not knocking or nothing like that. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever, but it's like, just put something to the side, like on some just, you know, worst come to worst type of scenario, you know what I mean? Right. I don't just have a Amiri shirt and nothing else to show for it.
And that goes to, you know, they say save your money because one day your money gonna save you.
That's a bar.
Yeah.
That's a bar.
I don't know who said that.
Yeah, somebody said it. I can't remember.
Somebody said that. Who comes up with these names?
Yeah, I know. But hey, whoever said that one, that was a nice bar. All right, so what were y'all saying? I literally missed like the last minute.
Oh, we were just wrapping up the money topic. You know what I mean? We were talking about the, you know, what you do with your money, people watching you.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it all just comes down to a self-assurance and confidence. You know, your confidence comes from within, because just insecurities if you're trying to keep up with the latest trends, and you know, and that's something that's not even social media. Like, you know, there's literally a song from the 70s, but it's hit, you know, where you're chasing the latest things and everything like that. So, but yeah, next topic is the crate challenge. Have you guys been watching the crate challenges at all? For me, it's been personally my favorite thing to watch on social media this past week. I just watched the Sha'Carri Richardson race, and like it was nowhere near the entertainment value of the crate challenge. So, like, what do you guys think of the crate challenges and stuff this week?
I think it's very reflective of a lot of things. One, I think like we were so bored. I mean, we're still obviously in the pandemic right now, but I feel like we've been just so bored as a country since the pandemic started that we just like let's set up some crates and walk over them. You know what I mean? Like, I want to know I don't know who started it, but like that's one thing I think about with like when we had like these challenges or like these memes or like these internet sensations. Like a lot of time the person that started it like never gets no credit or like gets money off of it. You know what I mean? Now it's a bunch of people nationwide, you know, risking their life with no health insurance because somebody in some random city was like, you know, I want to walk over some crates. But it's amazing to see. I love rooting people's downfall and seeing them fall off the crates. It really warms my heart. It's very beautiful.
Hey, you know how it's going to end, Jelani, too. But you said, you know, the creators never get it's going to end up on Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel. They're going to end up doing it. And that side, you know, y'all know what side I'm talking about, going to end up taking it and profiting off of it and becoming rich and everything off of it. Because the first video I saw was like, you know, just some folks in, you know, in the Black community, you know, and it looked it didn't look like the nicest community or anything like that. I don't want to call it the hood, just as Black folks in a neighborhood that doesn't look rich, but it looked like a Black community that didn't look the nicest. So for them to kind of take it go viral. I don't think they knew it was going to take off like the way it did. I thought they probably just thought it was going to be something that was going to be like funny and popular in their neighborhood. And, you know, upload it on Facebook, get a couple of laughs and keep it pushing. But that thing went like you said, viral. Now it's probably gonna end up on the Ellen show next week. Ellen, Ellen's gonna have like her black DJ trying to do it in the studio or something like that, and they're gonna run with it.
They gotta get some safety precautions. You do that on the Ellen show, bro. You fall on that ground, it's over. Cause they falling in grass right now, so it's like you got a little bit of a chance. You fall straight on the hard floor of like a stage, bruh. You finna break. You gonna break something.
And I'm seeing older people do it.
Nah. What are you saying, Jelani?
So I've been seeing some older people do it, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, imagine you live to be like 50 years old and you relatively in good health. Like, that's a blessing. And then one day, like, some challenge pops up. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna try this out. And now you're in the hospital with a concussion and long-term memory loss.
Right.
Like,
are you
not worth it? It should be a cutoff age limit of at least like 35 and under. Outside of that, y'all don't need to be doing that.
Yeah, you talking about, man, my back ain't never been the same.
Right.
Hey Mo, do you know if anyone has ever died from the cinnamon challenge? Speaking of like putting people's health at risk during the challenge.
Shoot, not that I know. I did the cinnamon challenge back in the day.
That's why I asked you, because you were the first person I thought of when I thought of the cinnamon challenge. Like the cinnamon challenge, that had to probably got someone like somewhere in life. I don't know if it probably did, because like you got to think, if it absorbs all the thing and you're choking, someone probably choked to death doing the cinnamon challenge. So I mean, I don't know what this crate challenge is going to be a thing for a couple of weeks. I can see it, but go ahead, Jelani.
Oh no, I was gonna say, I think it's just a matter of like how much cinnamon did you try? Like, did you just try to get like just the bare minimum to say you did it, or like did you really try to like go hard? You know what I mean?
I think I did the bare minimum. I'm not even gonna cap, because it wasn't like that big of an issue for me. Yeah, like I did it, but it's like when I did it, it didn't feel like I was finna choke. Like it was somewhat of a solid process, but it was like I didn't feel like I was finna like over there. What you gotta say, Rashad?
I looked it up, and a 4-year-old boy in Kentucky died from doing this.
Oh, wow!
You know what I'm saying?
Why do you have your 4-year-old son doing this? Why do you have the cinnamon even in reach? And why does your 4-year-old son know what the cinnamon challenge is if he did it behind your back? Like there's so much wrong with that. Like, boy, come on, dog. What are we doing here, man?
The podcast just took a dark left turn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Great challenges, people enjoying themselves. Now we're talking about a 4-year-old boy dying.
Yo, actually, I kind of there's a topic I wanted to bring up.
Go ahead.
How y'all feel about Taliban again? Like,
My first thought was Chris is gonna have to change his rap name, man.
Hey, you been rocking this long. Shoot.
Now, listen, man, the Taliban, you know what I mean? They back popping, J-Lo and Ben Affleck, they back together. It's 2003 again, man,
Right.
Yeah. Them videos was kind of like I had tweeted this, like it looked like a Disney movie where like high schoolers take over the mall or something like that. Like it was in people's houses, playing with bumper cars, all types of stuff was going on.
Nah, facts. Like my big thing is just I want to see how they're gonna move forward. A lot of people, of course, are worried about just how life in Afghanistan is going to be with, under Taliban rule. And, I think, like, I've seen, like, little clips of, like, environments that's already ruled by the Taliban. And, they talking about that they want to have inclusivity. The females go to church, go to school. Like, I think smoking is permitted. And whatnot. I was watching this thing on Viceland, but at the same time, it's just like this could switch at any moment, especially once U.S. involvement is completely done. So we still have troops over there. So it's like once we get everybody out, then it's just kind of like they could do whatever they want. So we're gonna see, man. Like I think, and they say they want to cut off from Al Qaeda too. So. I ain't gonna lie, it's just kind of crazy. I feel like all like them, ISIS, like Al Qaeda, everybody's just all bunched up together. and like in our eyes as Americans, So, but for them to be like, nah, we trying to separate ourselves from Al Qaeda because they be wilding, like they be doing a little bit too much. We just trying to really, we just want our country back, and that's the type of town that they say they on. So we gonna see, man. Prayers up for everybody in Afghanistan, man. Talibanistan.
Al Qaeda be wilding should be the name of the episode.
Yeah. All right, man. All right. Our Al-Qaeda View Island is the name of the episode. Episode 3, man.
Straight to the point.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if that's all y'all have on that topic, you know what I'm saying? Is there any other?
I feel like that was great. I feel like that was great
Mo,
political analysis.
I appreciate it so much, Mo. Hey, man. But from the crate challenge to the cinnamon challenge to the Taliban to Al Qaeda, all the way back to K Dot, also known as.
You get it all on this podcast.
What's his name? His name is like Al Umar or something like that. He released. Kendrick Lamar released a little note, a voice note saying that there's a time and place for everything, and this part of my life has come to an end. I'm wrapping up, and I'm about to release my final album under TDE. It's been a journey, and now I'm going to God's next calling for me in my life. In some other words, and he said, signed sincerely, and then whatever his new nickname is now. So I guess what was your kind of first reaction to that and stuff like that? Also, to Jelani's point of recover everything in this podcast, that was literally Van Lathan's The Ringer podcast. They went from like talking about Nicki Minaj and something like that to Haiti, to the Haiti earthquakes, prayers for Haiti, and then the Taliban, and then like they ended the show on like Little Nas X. And that is just so. I mean, it's like, okay, the range or whatever. I'm sure it didn't sound that crazy when you were listening in real time, but like just looking at the timestamps, it's so indicative, I guess, of like social media. And I don't know, man. We living in crazy times, dog. We living in crazy times where like folks are trying to be activists / DJ academics / the shade room / like Bill Simmons. Like people want to be there all, and it's kind of crazy to me. That's a side note. I'm sorry for going on that little tangent. But Kendrick Lamar, what do you guys think about Kendrick's announcement?
I mean, I just think you got to think like so the album didn't come out till like 2012. Good Kid, Mad City's first album, but even before then, like it's like the way it is now. You gotta have a YouTube song come out and be famous tomorrow, you know what I mean? But when he first started rapping, when he was a teenager, like 2004, 2005, you kind of needed like somebody backing you or a label or something like that. So TDE, obviously, that was like the local label for him in Compton. And now he's, like he said, 17 years later, it's like, all right, like I'm in a position where I can be an executive, you know what I mean? Because I think that's what he's going to end up doing. I don't know how long he'll step away from rap, but I think he'll at least, I mean, it's been already, 4 years since his last album now. You know what I mean? So I can see him just kind of falling back and just wanting to be like a mogul in the industry now. So it makes sense. I'm excited for the new album. You know what I mean? It's been almost 5 years.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel the same way because I can't remember the name of it, but he already has the label like registered and everything.
Yeah, I was about to say PG Lang. Yeah, he's doing that whole thing with Baby Keem, and he had Yara Shahindi. Is that how you pronounce it on the commercial and stuff?
Shahidi. Oh, I thought he signed her. I was about to say, what?
No. He had her in like the commercial announcing PG Lane like a year ago or whenever that was.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm excited for this next album. I don't know. I feel like I do kind of hate that he's been gone through so much critical moments over the last 2 years. It's like I understand. You trying to get your stuff together.
When the world needed Kendrick the most.
Yeah, like on the low, it's like so we had to settle for Lil Baby. No, like,
but look, but that's exactly what No Name said though. That's what No Name said, and that's what got Cole to get up out his seat and respond to No Name. And people had a problem with it at the time, but dang, It's like, dang if you do, dang if you don't.
Nah, and I feel with Cole though. It's just kind of like I don't know. He's been a person of the moment for so long. Of like, all right, this is going on. Let me drop something about this. And it's like I feel like Kendrick. I don't know. I just feel like we've heard him like with Black of the Berry. We've heard him speak on Black issues various times, but it's like to really capture the moment of what's going on right then and there, and then to really kind of speak about it for the generation, so that everybody can kind of get a feel of healing, or like just understanding out of it. Like I feel that could have been a good place for him, I feel. But like, and I do want to kind of retract on what I was saying. Like, Lil Baby, he really did his thing on Bigger Picture, So I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but it just would have been cool, just even like hear him make a statement. It's just kind of like this is what you kind of a good bulk of your career is based off of these issues, this situation, and when it got to its heights, you was gone. But now it's like, I've been gone. I had to reflect on life, and now I'm ready to, give y'all this album. And it's just kind of like, all right, don't be talking about George Floyd. Like, bro, that was last year. I don't want to hear about that no more, Like, I mean, I can hear about it, but I'm saying, I don't know. Like, I don't want to, I just feel like, yeah, the moment it kind of passed on certain issues. So it's like, kind of keep moving forward at this point, because it's like, we've heard everything we kind of needed to hear about some of these topics already, But that's just.
I think he might just be at a point where like that might be part of the reason why it's taking us so long to drop is that he might not want to feel that pressure to be like the spokesperson anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like he might just want to, I don't know, he might just want to go back to just being a musician or, you know what I mean, or whatever, and then just go back to being behind the scenes at this point. That's a lot of responsibility for people to be looking at you as like the spokesperson of I don't know if I say of a generation, but just like you said, there's a certain type of music that people associate Kendrick with. You know what I mean?
For me, Mo, I'm gonna disagree with you on that point. I think this is the first disagreement we had on the pod, so it's good for the ratings. But I'm gonna disagree with you because it's like if you already released albums on it, it's like what new are you gonna say now? Like in the moment, I mean, if you look at the videos from those protests and stuff, they're playing Kendrick Lamar songs. They're playing All Right. They're playing, his other songs and everything like that. But for him, his last two albums were all about Black plight. They were all about the struggle and, just Black people and the issues they're facing. I feel like if you released two whole bodies of work, it was kind of like similar to Childish Gambino. He released his album at the beginning of lockdown or whatever. And that was very appropriate for the beginning of lockdown, like the topics and stuff he was talking about with the existentialism and dealing with the loss of his own father and kind of how his perspectives on life changed after the death of his father and stuff like that. But he didn't do anything for when the Black Lives Matter whole thing happened. All he did was just like a Twitter thread. You know what I'm saying? So people were looking at him like, ain't you the dude that your biggest hit, all your money and stuff from music came from This Is America and now you're not saying anything? It's like, that's kind of I was looking at it like that's kind of the point. Like you have This Is America. He has the music video and the song. Like what more can you say that's new, that's different? I don't think any, album or anything like that. I definitely think that it was important that someone documented that specific place and time. And the fact that it was Lil Baby, like you said, he did his thing. So I think the purpose was served from hip hop there. And they all showed up to the protest. Like Kendrick showed up to the protest, Cole showed up to the protest. And then, I think Tyler, the Creator, going back to his album, him touching on it a whole year later, it felt weird when I first listened to it because I was like, yo, this is like a year too late. But at the same time, it's like the issues are still the issues. Like people are still getting, like, a Black man was just killed, 27-year-old was just killed on Santon Road over there in Cobb County this past week by the police.
Yeah.
So, this is still something that's going on. It just might not be the largest trending topic. So I don't think there's ever a time where you could be like, oh, we're past that. Or, oh, where are you at in the moment? Because, I mean, if I've said something about something for 10 years consecutively and then something happens, like, why do I need to say something new? Just go back to my 10 years of stuff that I've said.
But silly, that's not really what I was saying. Because that's what I'm saying of like, all right, you don't have to make a song, but it's just like, and essentially, especially last year, it was like that was a very pivotal moment in the sense of like just I don't know. I feel like Black people in America, just because I feel like it was a moment where like we had the world's attention, you know, and then it's like we had real leaders to real like we have Tamika Mallory. I don't know how many people really rock with her. Like I like her, but
We're
she
in
always
such a like. I want to go. I'm sorry, Mo. I want to go off about that. To Tamika Mallory's and Sean King's, like both of them jokers, like we're living in such a woker than thou like era. It's like even the activists get canceled, and it's like I don't like Tamika Mallory because of ABC. I don't like Sean King because of ABC. And then like I guess there's like certain valid points if Sean King was using Black people's money for Black Lives Matter for like his own house and personal gain. And it turns out he wasn't even Black. But it's like the woker than thou stuff of like I don't like if you're searching for something, there's no one perfect. No one, the perfect person doesn't exist. And I'm more activists to realize that as well. But continue, Mo.
Nah, I definitely feel you that like, it's no perfect person, but that's why I feel like a person like Kendrick, and that's why we're looking for people like Kendrick and J. Cole, because it's like we know that you know what to say. Like, well, we know we've heard what you had to say about these issues before, and it's not saying that you got to be exactly the person to lead the charge, but it's just like, all right, I don't know. It's just kind of like you did this work to put yourself in a position, and then now when it's at its height, it's kind of like, I mean, I've been saying it. Y'all got to kind of figure it out now.
So
It's
you're
like,
saying it's more like a Jesse Jackson type of deal where Jesse Jackson and Reverend Al Sharpton. Salute to Jesse Jackson, or prayers up to him. He and his wife are currently in ICU with COVID-19. So definitely salute to them and praise out to them. But Jesse Jackson and Reverend Al Sharpton, they showed up to every Black event when nothing was really popping off. So you're saying like it's like when stuff pops off, people are expecting Jesse Jackson and Reverend Al Sharpton to show up because they've always been and they've kind of built their brand of this is who we are.
yeah, I didn't really know that about them, but yeah, I would say that's a good way to put it. Is just kind of like, and I'm not saying you had to be, the biggest voice, but I just think it's just like I think start working with so many groups. It's like start meeting with the Tamika Mallory's. It's like think about if her, Kendrick, and Cole all got together. It's like we'll probably be like, all right, I don't know, like we'll be able to find a little bit better understanding about things and see, because I think that's the thing is just like all the activists are just so I don't know. I'll be feeling like the wrong people be kind of getting with them. Like I like Steven Jackson, but I don't think he was it just so happened George Floyd was his friend. But I don't really think he's not the best voice for some of these issues. You got to think he was like, we're going to talk about this topic of Sha'Carri Richardson, but it's just like, he was one of the people that was on there promoting like we need to boycott the Olympics now that he had a Black voice. He's known as this Black figure that's like here for civil issues, and it's like, and now he's over here promoting boycott the Olympics. And it's like, that was a stupid thing in itself. It's just like, there's so many other Black people that's going to be out there. Why not give them the support? Because if one person, did what they did, so that's why
Stack says a lot of stupid things.
Yeah, but that's the issue. It's like we got a lot of people who get put in these positions and we know, and it's just like that's who we kind of got. But it's like Kendrick would have been better well spoken about some of these issues, and that's why we wanted that from Cole. But it feels like I understand the pressure becomes so much, and it's just kind of like, dang, like I'm just trying to be an artist. So like, and I get that, it's just kind of like you did what you did, but it's just like there wasn't the identity that you necessarily wanted to take on. But regardless, I think the music gonna be fire though.
Jelani, I really want to hear your thoughts on that because that was some good points that Mo brought up there.
I think for me personally going forward, I don't try to put as much stock like in entertainers, period. You know what I mean? Like we said, it would be dope to hear like what Kendrick's thought were as it was happening or whatever last summer. But I don't know. The older you get, I think you realize the more how flawed humans are. And a lot of people that growing up, you might have put like real emotional stock as far as like, I want to be like them, or I want to think like them, or I respect their thoughts. You realize that, everybody has their own things that you disagree with and things like that. So if he does come out, if it's a super political album, cool. If it's not, if it's just a cool album of songs, I'm not gonna be mad. Like, I'm not gonna hold it to the standard. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I feel like, those days of like us needing an MLK or like a Martin Luther King for us to all get behind. I'm not saying leaders aren't important, but I just think it's more so like individually, like, do you have common sense? Are you trying to like help as far as what you can help, as far as advancing Black people and things like that? You know what I mean? Just doing what you can do individually, not waiting for somebody to lead you into doing what you need to be doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I feel that. I think another point you were talking about looking up to. Well, so it's kind of like when you first said that, I've gotten past the days of looking up to entertainers. It kind of reminded me of when we were talking, I think the first time about like the gangster rap, the street rap, like, how we were like, we just wanted to be just entertainment. So you're saying even on a conscious end, you would rather it just be entertainment of our expectation of like, if this person is all about activism and rapping consciously, that's just their art. That's just the entertainment. Like, we're not going to take it as this man is the leader because he's speaking out on this and he's put his foot down. Is that kind of like how you see things? If that makes sense, it made sense in my mind. I don't know if I conveyed it right.
No, I get what you said. I look at I like your art can be it can be, some people's like their art is more reflective of their real life than others. Like, some people we know for a fact, like you're just making art. Like, you be talking about killing people and selling drugs and things like that. And you've never done any of that in your life. And it's okay. Like the rapper Lil Tecca, he did like one of those like genius videos where you straight up like, yeah, I'm lying in all of these songs. Like, no, it's just, I've never shot anyone. I don't have a Lamborghini. I'm just making music. You know what I mean? And you got some artists like Kendrick where their art is definitely like more self-reflective of what their real life is and things like that. So it's just the preference of like, what do you like? For me personally, I appreciate the art just if it's good. It could be completely real. It could be completely fake. As long as it sounds good to me, I'm not really tripping off of it. You know what I mean?
Speaking of art, I want to throw this in just a little bit. Did anybody listen to Trippie's album? I know Mo, he wanted to touch on something. If you wanted to say something before I, you get on Trippie's album real quick. Was there anything else you had to say? Okay. Did anybody hear Trippie's album? Uh-oh. Wi-Fi once again. All right. The Wi-Fi is going to come back in a second.
Bro.
Okay, cool. All right, Wi-Fi's back. Someone say Wi-Fi. All right, here we go. But yeah, so did you hear the Trippie album?
I haven't finished it. I started it. I listened to a few songs. I haven't finished it yet though.
And Jelani?
Yeah, I haven't heard it yet. I haven't really, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't listened to too much of his music like before. Like, most of the songs that I've heard, it sounds like a version of Lil Uzi Vert that I prefer to just listen to, like Lil Uzi Vert. I don't think he's whack though. You know what I mean? From what I have heard.
Yeah, I don't listen to Trippie, but it was such a like trending topic and stuff this week that I checked it out, and I just like listened to the snippets, and like you said, it just ain't my taste. Like, it ain't, everything ain't for everybody. That just ain't me. It's definitely not my demographic, but Drake had a bar in there and whatnot about Mr. Yeezy, and he said something like, blah, 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 you 40 years old and you blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Drake, you're like, what, 36? You're not too far from 40,
I was just gonna say, like, Drake is not a youngin'. That man is damn near 40.
And after that, Kanye posted on Instagram and deleted a screenshot of a group message where he added push to the group message, and I think it was with Drake, and he said, man, I've dealt with nerdy dudes like you all my life, man. I'm tired of it. I'm fed up. We're gonna beat you up. It was something along those lines.
He said nerd.
That more? Okay, there
Nerd ass jocks.
Yeah, like I was like, what?
The whole screenshot was the most confusing thing I've seen in my life. And people were deciphering it and it went viral and people were like, he had it. I was like, how did you get all that from this screenshot? Am I that like technologically illiterate to not? I didn't understand the screenshot at all. But I guess, Mo, you can go ahead and I'll let you take the reins on this one.
I mean, yeah, like, Kanye allegedly, put what we're assuming Drake and Pusha T and, a few other people in the group chat and, let them know it's game time, like it's up. Yeah, pretty much sent him the Joker and was just like, yeah, like, I done dealt with, we passed the point where we could curse, right?
Yeah. And also, I want to say this. Didn't sound very Christ-like, the screenshots, Kanye. But continue.
Yeah, but yeah, talking about nerd ass, jock ass dudes like you my whole life. I'm like, that's a crazy demographic to be bullied by your whole life. Nerd ass jocks. Like, I don't even see too many of those. But like, I don't know, man. Like Kanye's so extra, bro. Like, he should be in his feelings. The fact that he even posted this, I'm starting to think this is all for promotion at this point. I feel like him and Drake, like, they just like they in cahoots just to get their record sales as big as possible.
Do y'all think the albums are done on both sides? That's my theory.
I think
Drake is.
You think Drake's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think both of them are done, and they're just like Spider-Man memeing it, dude. They got to.
Nah. Kanye about the type of time Kanye seemed like he on, like he seemed like he about to redo the album again. And it's about to be nothing but Drake disses. Like,
in the name of Jesus.
In the name of Jesus, I guess.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah, you good, bro. What you finna say?
Drake has been throwing, like, in his music, if you've been paying attention, he's been throwing, like, subtle signs that he might have did something with Kim K, like, over the years. He's, like, little, like, slick shots or whatever. And, like, if that would to be the case, I'm not trying to be, like, no chatty patty or, like, gossipy or nothing like that. But if that was hypothetically the case, it's not, like, really much you could really say to that would, like, trump that card. So it's, like, at this point, I don't even know what they're really even beefing over. Like that, the Pusha T Drake thing, that was 3 years ago. And then that started because of Pusha T, because of clips in Lil Wayne, like in 2006. So it's like, it's been going on for like 15 years about absolutely nothing.
Did you see the Wayne interview where he said he didn't know why him and Push started beefing?
It was because Lil Wayne started wearing Bape, and they say he was rapping about cocaine too much. So you remember that clip song, Mr. Me Too? Like, that was about Wayne. And then, like, 15 years later, you know what I mean? Still going on, the after effects.
So this started over some bathing apes?
Because Clips was, like, Clips for real, like, that whole camp, like, that was the first, or, like, some of the first rappers that was really wearing Bape, obviously. And then Bape, like, Lil Wayne started to be like Bape head to toe. And then, yeah, basically, everything. That screenshot is all stemming from Bape in, like, 2006.
Yeah, and I mean, I just think the fact that, like, the clip that went viral is, he said, the people I'm beefing with, I don't even know, 45, 44, like, burnt out, let it go. Is it kind of like, yeah, and just the fact that they trying to start it back up. It's like, Drake's like, bro, I don't even want to do this no more. Like, I don't really benefit that much from this. It's like, I guess record sales. That's why I feel like maybe the record sales, just for you to even allow this little snippet to get out. And then it's so ironically close to, like, when y'all supposed to be releasing your albums and stuff, So that's why I feel it may be promotion at this point, because I'm like, other than that, bro, what are y'all finna say to each other now?
There's no 106 in Park. Remember, I sent Mo a few months ago a throwback clip of 50 and Kanye facing off at 106 in Park before they released on the same day. I believe it was 9/11, if I'm not mistaken. Was it Jelani? Yeah, I know Jelani knew. Jelani.
It was a big deal. I remember that.
Yeah. 9/11, and it was like Tuesday. 50 had to retire after that. I get money. I wasn't. They didn't live up to graduation. Graduation was graduation, and I get money was a single.
No, so, that was. Now, I Get Money was fired. That was like. 50
it was. But it's a single versus a classic album.
No, that's true. No, the song from that album that really he shouldn't have put out that song. That shouldn't have saw the light of day. Was the AO Technology with Justin Timberlake.
I love that song. I'm not gonna lie, I love that song.
It was just. It wasn't. I ain't gonna say it was whack, but it was like, yeah, yeah. Compared to what Kanye was doing at that
the
time.
stronger. Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
Yo,
exactly.
Stop it! Throw in the towel.
And Good Life.
It made 50 become an executive producer, man. Power coming out next.
Yeah,
that's what came up 5 years later.
Awesome.
That's what came up, man. But yeah. I mean, there's no 106 in Park to go on. Like the closest thing to 106 in Park, what Tyler the Creator was saying a couple of weeks ago in his Hot 97 interview was like, these are academics. So you know, I mean, you can't like, what are you gonna do? Go on Instagram Live or something like that? Both of them are kind of too big for that. So. You know, this is kind of the next biggest thing of just kind of releasing subtle shots and verses and social media things, tweets and deletes and whatnot, et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, I guess building that anticipation. But I feel like they built the anticipation. Like Drake said he was coming out in January. Kanye said he was coming out, Donda, he said was coming out like in 2018, you know, when the Good Music rollout happened and stuff like that. So it's just.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know what they're doing, but I definitely think that it's still trying to build anticipation around both of their albums and trying to face off and release at the same day.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm just like, I don't want to hear no more diss tracks. I don't know. Like, I just don't think they got nothing else to really say at this point. Like, unless Drake finna just come out and say, bro, I hit Kim. Like, I'm like, bro, don't be talking about how you over here. Like, huh?
He did in Sicko Mode.
He threw. But I felt like this wasn't like made like enough of a big deal. What was the name of the song? With Lil Baby that he put out earlier this year. Like I said,
Once and Eve.
Yeah. We was talking about. I need to confess my sins to Jesus, but even he wouldn't believe us or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I feel like enough people were like, when I heard that line, I was like, oh, did y'all really just hear what he said? You know what I'm saying? Maybe I was deciphering that differently, but like. If I really told you what happened, you wouldn't believe me. You know what I mean?
Right.
But who do you think, Mo? You said this in the pre-pod. But you said you know, who was in the group message? Who else do you think was in the group message?
Let me pull it up, bro. Cause
I want to say one of them was like Virgil. I want to say yeah, because he said something about a green watch. The internet is really like on some detective stuff because they piece all this together. I didn't see those initials and like I couldn't figure all this out, but I guess they say yeah, Virgil was in there. Obviously, Pusha, Drake. Outside of that, you know what I mean?
See, he deleted it.
Yeah, he deleted it. So you have to go on like look it up. But I guess Baby was probably in there.
You think Baby was in there? I doubt Baby was in there.
That would be weird. He has nothing to do with that. That would be
like
no, he has Young Money.
You talking about that baby?
I'm talking about that baby.
He's talking about Lil Baby. Oh,
there's
so many babies now. You gotta.
Yeah. It's the baby, Lil Baby,
yeah.
Baby Birdman.
Right. Beatrice.
So we got D. So I'm guessing that's Drake. You got P, Pusha, V, Virgil, and then you got an M, 2 more B's. So maybe Baby in there. J. I doubt he put Jay-Z in this. Jay-Z would have.
That's what's his name? Jay. The dude who ended the beef the last time. From
Jay
Drake
Prince?
doing a response. What's his name?
Jay Prince.
Jay Prince.
Oh, probably. Okay. And then we got a T in here.
Is there an S in there? Is there an S?
It could be Trump. It could be
Trey Young.
Anybody.
Yo, but like, did y'all peep like above that? It looked like he sent some like lyrics. Or like it said, "Wear my green watch."
That's why
when you saying down to do something.
That's why people were saying Virgil was in there because Virgil had made like a green. He did like a paddock collaboration, like a custom paddock for Drake. It was like green. You know what I mean? That's when you talking about. Virgil got the paddock on my wrist doing front flips.
This nigga
I was about to say the fact that folks like Peach like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I only know this because of the internet. Like, people think I'm
Imagine,
like a screenshot analyzer like that.
yeah, imagine like this man Kanye putting Drake and Virgil in the same group chat. Like, yo, where my green watch?
That would
Right?
be very, very Kanye-esque.
Well, I have a question though. Like, would y'all save like if you knew all these people on a personal level? Could you literally save all their names as their rapper names or like are their real names? Because I would save people as their real names if I like knew them like that.
I'll probably say like whatever I call them. Like if you call this man Pusha, you know, yeah. What is this man government? I don't know, but you probably don't call him that.
Yeah.
His name is Terrence.
Oh, that's his real name. Yeah, you're not gonna call this man Terrence.
Hey, yo, Terrence.
Like, I was watching. Have y'all seen the T-Pain Drink Champs interview?
No,
I saw some of it.
I haven't seen that or 85 South from T-Pain yet.
Yeah, the Drink Champs one pretty good. He was talking about how he saw Buster and they called him by his government. I can't remember what his government name was, but he was just like whatever his name was. Let's say Clarence. He was like, "Hey, Clarence," and he said Buster just looked at him like, "Bruh, what?" He said it was like the other night too.
Wait, T-Pain said he said Buster's government?
Yeah, like there was that like Buster album release party, and he called him by government. He was like, "Yo, blah blah blah." And Buster looked at him like, "Bro, don't do that."
Busta Rhymes is the last rapper I would try that with. Busta Rhymes got steroids, which is crazy because he started off. He was like skinny for like the first 15 years of his career, and then one day,
for real,
with the Barry Bonds look. You know what I mean?
Nah, for real, bro. Let's see, what is it, man? Buster government. Trevor. Yeah.
You can't call Busta Rhymes.
Trevor.
He probably did it in front of the goons too. Like, bro, don't do that to me. Like,
hey, yo, Trevor.
Right.
I'll probably do it. I ain't gonna lie, because it's like, all right. So, okay, Tony Snow, great example. If you see Tony Snow, like, there's a chance you might slip up and just say he's government because you grew up knowing him as his government.
I don't know that man like that. I mean, we were in high school together, but like I would respect like the rapper persona enough to like call him by his rapper name. You know what I mean? Especially if he in front of his homies. I ain't finna call you by you. You know what I mean? It's like a time and place for it. Like if I know Jay-Z personally, unless I really know that man like that, I'm not calling you Sean. You know what I mean? I respect you enough to call you Jay. Jigga at the most.
Are you calling him Hov?
That's a little bit weird. I'm not.
What about Young? Are you calling him Young? Young.
He's not young anymore. I don't even think he's called himself young since like the Black album.
Nah, he doesn't.
Yo, if you saw Diddy, you calling him Love?
Listen, man, it's the love era. You know what I mean? It's just
love era.
It's the love era. You gotta respect it. And I'll bring him his own bottle of Ciroc.
Right.
But with the thing though, I was at a Larry League show, you know, way back when, and Sensei was walking around and he like called, I think it was, who was it? Which member was it? It doesn't matter. I think it was Larry Loudpack. He called him by his government and he was calling him. He was just like, "Hey, yo, Wilson," or whatever his name was. He was like, Winton. And then, you know, he looked up, he's like, "Yo, what's up?" And then like, I'm like, "Who the heck is Winton?" And I was like, "Oh, that must be like his actual name." And so I don't know. That's why I don't know. I didn't see any problem with it. They're like friends in real life, and they knew each other as like, you know, like I wouldn't be. I don't know. It's just a weird concept in my opinion to like call someone you know their real name by the rapper name that the world knows them by.
Yeah, I think it just depends on your relationship, like how close, like how long y'all know each other. Like if I've known you more years as your government than I've known you as your rap name, then like, all right, I may call you by your rap name. But at the same time, it's just like if you're like just with Mike goes by Noel. And you know, it's like depending the circumstance, like I'm gonna call him Mike, but if we're around people, I'm gonna call him Noel. You know, so it's just kind of like the environment.
I saw name dropping. I saw Lil Yachty at a Hawks game one time a couple of years ago, and I was trying to get a Yachty interview. And I went up to him since he was from Cobb, and I called him by his government. I was like, yo, government name. I was like, hey, man, I'm from Cobb too. You know, I did an interview with Larry, blah, blah, blah. Let's set it up. Let's get it done. He was like, right now. And like the interview obviously never happened. But at that moment, I kind of did it as a thing to kind of connect on a personal level of like, yo, I'm local too. Like, this is how local I am, to the fact where I know people who know you and they call you by your first name. Didn't work out for me, but I tried it. Was that out of pocket for me going up to Boat and saying his first name?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
You don't really know him like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just a thing of like, I'll just try to call people what they want like to be referred to as. You know what I mean? Like if we're on that level where like we're friends and you become a famous rapper, when it's just me and you, I'll probably call you by your regular name. But when you're in front of your people, I know like you got a certain type of you in like your stage mode. You know what I mean? It's like the difference between being like The Rock or being Dwayne Johnson. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh man, I don't know. I'm with the if your mama called you blank, I'm gonna call you blank. Like if I know it, like
mom, though.
What'd you say?
I said, but you're not his mom, though. You know what I'm saying?
You're right, but it's just I have a hard time doing that sometimes, man. I think I probably need to get that checked out because, like me, if I know your real name and I've called you your real name before, I'm gonna call you your real name, like, or I'm gonna slip up and just say it. Like it's not on purpose. It's just like if I've been calling you this, if I've known you as this for your entire life, if I see you, I'm gonna call you by your real name. Like, cause I don't know, it feel weird for me to be like, "Hey, yo, Bo." I feel like if that's the first time I've ever seen you, and I was like, "Hey, yo, Bo," I feel like that's even more weird than saying your government.
I would just say Yachty.
Yeah, and I just think it's just really about like where you at, too, because it's just like you know, like with us all having friends who make music and stuff, you know, it's just like depending the situation. It's like it's kind of like you don't just be calling out the man government like in front of people, you know.
I mean, I wouldn't do it to Lil Baby.
But I mean, it's like even with like I just think about like just the situations of like Justin. Like I'm like if I'm around people, I'm gonna call him Cap out of respect because it's just like that's what you're known as, you know. It's like I'm not gonna just be sitting here like because it kind of like a big bro move too. Like, hey Justin, like yeah, like you know, like yeah, nah, you're not Cap to me, bro. You just Justin. Now go, you know, it's kind of like it's a respect level there. I feel, you know, because it's like I respect the motion that you got going. So with that, I'm going to call you the name that you have presented the world at yourself to the world as, you know.
Yeah, that's the same thing for me. Like I'm just like I said, it's not. If I do it on accident, it's on accident. But if you want to, like your public persona is this certain type of name, and you got your audience around or whatever, I ain't gonna embarrass you and call you by your government name or try to flex the fact that I know you like that. But if it's an accident, that's an accident because I've known you before you were that persona. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Right.
I think I might slip up and call Justin just because I've known Justin since he was like 13, so be like, oh my bad, Cap, you know. So right. I guess outside I'll end it with siding with Jelani. If I slip up and do it, I slip up and do it. But with that Yachty situation, it was literally like it's a Hawks game. It's super loud in there. So the only people that could hear it was me and the people next to him, like his little entourage. So I don't know. But I guess next time, especially with someone who I don't know, I won't approach them with the first name. I'll just be like, hey, rapper name, would you like to work? Would you like to collab at some point? And that'll probably end up in a better result for me. Because I probably would have got the Yachty interview if I said, hey, Yachty, instead of saying, hey, government name. So I don't know. It goes back to the entire coach argument that was a thing too a month ago or so. If you call a coach, I'll call every coach out of respect. And then I guess the final topic we have for the week is Sha'Carri Richardson. Is it Sha'Carri or Sha'Carri? Sha'Carri or Sha'Carri?
I've heard it pronounced Sha'Carri. I want to say Sha'Carri. Yeah.
I figured it out when she won a race. No, I'm joking.
I knew someone was gonna say something. I was like, I don't know. Right now, I just call her last place, but But go ahead, Mo. She finished in last place, ninth place, after taking the Olympics off. Everybody, she was tweeting, "Oh, we know how this all would have went down if I was at the Olympics." She talking big talk. They have a little setup where Sha'Carri can race against the Jamaicans who went 1, 2, 3 in the Olympics. And she said, "I'm the sixth fastest woman ever in the world in the sport, and I know what I'm about, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do this." She did more commercials and everything like that. The whole Black Twitter was behind her. She got out there. She finished dead last after a month. I guess just what was you guys' reaction to that?
Just to be honest, I feel like she's better than how she finished, but I don't think she's as good as what she projected. And just at this current point, and I say that's not even trying to be on like a hate or anything, but it's just like, you got to think the women she's going against are like 29, 32, like they're grown women who've been doing this for years. They've been to multiple Olympics at this point. It's like Sha'Carri biggest thing is her winning the NCAA final. Like not even a world championship. So I just like, she's still young, so she definitely has time. And I think, as time progresses, she will be able to overtake the sport, hopefully. But I think she put too much pressure on herself going into it, just by doing all this extra, like, yeah, y'all better be ready. I'm coming back out, blah, blah. It's just like, you go out there and race. You go out there and run, and then they put you right in between them because, you put all this hype on yourself. So it's like, hey, we're going to put you right in between them. If you really up there, you're going to be right next to them, But it's like, nah. And I think it's just mentally she checked out. I think mentally, like, she got about 50 meters and then saw, old girl hit that second burst. And then she was like, dang, like, I'm really not here yet, So I just think it's like, man, as I said, she's not as bad as she finished, but I think she just needs to be more humble and just chill. Like, you're doing all this talking. You're doing too much talking, and this is why all the pressure's on you. It's like, that's why you saw the girl who won sit there and say, I have no comment about that. It's just, I'm here to run. Like, I'm not here to be a spectacle, What you feeling, Jelani?
She's still like you were saying before, like she's still like a 20-year-old girl. She'll have more races and stuff like that, and more chances to prove herself or whatever. I don't know. I kind of like the fact that she does talk, just because so many track athletes, like, and just Olympic athletes in general, are not like very marketable like that. Like, it's only a few, like Usain Bolt's, like Florence Joyner back in the day, Michael Phelps. Like, it's certain Olympic athletes outside of the basketball teams that like really cut through and are like marketable like that. So from that standpoint, I'm not mad at her talking, but it's just like, you got to deal with both sides. You know what I mean? If you are, going to be like more of a flamboyant personality, you're going to have people that when you lose, you know what I mean, they're going to be making memes about you and things like that. And you just got to take the good with the bad, you know what I mean? But I do think she has a bright future ahead of her outside of this one race. It's just, and she just lost her mom like not that long ago. It just might not be, her mind not be totally, like you said, mentally, it might not be all the way there on track right now.
How do y'all feel about well, I agree with both of you guys on that. What I like was the fact in her post-game interview, of her post-race interview, she kept the same energy. And a lot of people, like, had a problem with the fact she was being interviewed and the fact that other racers were being asked about her. I'm like, she's the story, duh. Like, of course you're gonna ask her questions and you're gonna ask them questions. Like, come on now, like, folks gotta stop being so dang soft. Like, folks is getting soft, bro. Like, that's just what it is. Folks getting soft. Second thing on that, I like the fact that she kept the same energy and she kept talking smack and everything like that after she lost. Third thing, what did you think of, someone tweeted that that the people making memes and jokes about her goes back to people waiting, pouncing on the opportunity to down a black woman and to clown a black woman. What do you guys react to that?
I will say I will say this. I feel like a lot of people who are kind of going against her were Jamaican or have Jamaican ties because like you were going against Jamaicans. And it's like I saw a lot of people in the comments putting Jamaican flags up after like negative comments were usually followed by Jamaican flag. So and I think it's just like I think that's part of it. Is you're kind of like you're gonna sit here and talk to a country, and it's like, but yeah, I don't think it's I don't feel like it's a tear down a black woman. I just think it's just like I don't know. I feel like she's really been hyped up, but it's just like, and I think about it like this: if I wouldn't be talking, this is just me personally. If I know when I'm training, if I just saw the girl break an Olympic record, and is your training, and it's just like this is an honest question. I don't know this though, and maybe it is. Are your training times anywhere near that? Because you see where her like possible best is, So it's like, are your training time near that? If not, then it's just like you. I don't know. I guess keep talking because I guess you're gonna keep getting endorsements. But I'm just personally like the type of person that's just like, if I know I'm not gonna go out there and win, why am I talking? Because it's just like, and not like, yeah, it's a lucky chance, but I'm like, I don't think her training numbers are running 10-6s.
It's like the difference between arrogance and confidence, you're saying. But
yeah.
Like arrogance is just like saying stuff. Confidence is because you're saying this because your work has backed it up.
Exactly. And that's why I'm like, she like has the opportunity to get there. But I just feel everything just kind of happens so fast, and it just feel like she gotta be that when it's just like you're not that yet. That's just the realization of it, And so you're finna go into the next world championship, or you're finna go into the next race talking like you that. And you face them again. And then you lose again. It's just like what are we gonna keep doing here? It's just like, cause then like let's say 2 years from now and she still hasn't beat them. It's just like, what are we gonna say then? But it's like we're just gonna keep listening to her talk on the press conferences. So that's why I'm just like, just focus on your game. Focus on being the best possible version. Because that's why I'm saying you mentally checked out because you was like, you probably run it halfway through and it's all like, dang, they really better than me and everybody's gonna kill me. So it's like, do you slow down? And if you didn't have all the pressure, you could have finished like fourth. Because you're not that bad.
I'm looking at it like Jake Paul and Conor McGregor. Two white guys who like everybody hates. Like no one likes y'all. So you know what I'm saying? If they lost, the memes and everything come flying. I mean, not for Jake Paul. Jake Paul hasn't lost yet. But Logan Paul. What was the other dude? Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, when he loses, the memes come flying and jokes come. And it's not because people was, we on the white man day, it's not that. It's because people don't like him. Like, you build up this persona of an arrogant person who can't be beaten and you get beaten, people are going to make jokes. Like, that's kind of like human nature. I don't think it's specific to black women, but that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, and I think also with those people, they're training and they know that I can probably knock somebody out. And if I'm saying, it's just like, going into this, did you really think you were about to beat them? Or was you just like, like I'm not even trying to be shady, but it's just like, did you really like, my numbers are just as good as theirs. I know I have a good chance. Or is it that I have all the hype of the country and I did good at the Olympic trials? I'm coming off of NCAA final, a championship. So I think, ain't nobody gonna touch me. It's just like, no, you good. Go ahead.
I don't think she was that cocky though. I feel like, I feel like it was like more of a narrative surrounding her where like people expect like when you athlete. She wasn't that cocky, bro.
She literally tweeted during the Olympics, we know how this would have went down if I was like, she literally tweeted that in the middle of the Olympics, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it ain't not like people just make this up because she got long hair and long nails. Like, she's been talking.
There were some people that was kind of on that though, but I didn't see that tweet. Either way, it's just like you gotta listen. If you a public like personality and you carry yourself with like a certain level of confidence or whatever, when it don't go good, you gotta take the good with the bad. Like I said, like you gotta deal with the memes. You know what I mean? Like when you popping, you'll get the love, and when you not, hey, you know what I mean? Be like that.
But I ain't gonna cap. I do feel like, keep the same energy. Forget it. It's kind of like, it's like you can't go into the post conference, the post press conference like, yeah, I really got humbled today. Like, nah, you got to be like,
you gotta respect it. You gotta. She stood on her words. You gotta respect it.
Yeah. So I just think going into the next race, whenever that is, just don't be posting like, I don't know. Did you see her do the Nicki Minaj little video?
Yeah, I saw that. The little TikTok of her.
Yeah, it's like don't do none of that. Don't do none of that. You go out there and race. You go out there.
Hey, Jelani, that was a whole nother thing she did. I forgot about that, Mo. She made a whole
I thought she was
TikTok.
just showing off her hairstyle. I didn't think she was.
No, but what was the word saying in the Nicki Minaj? It was like, I'm ready to beat everybody, or whatever the words were.
It was like, y'all thought I was done. Well, I'm back, bitches, or something like that. I was like, all right. Yeah,
so she was just showing off the new hairdo.
But yeah, anything else? Oh, go ahead, Mo. Oh, wait, Mo and Jelani. I think both of y'all wanted to say something.
Oh no, I was saying I see where you're coming from though. From an extent, I definitely made some points.
Yeah, man. I think as I said, she got a bright future ahead. She's only what 22, 23, if that.
I'm saying she's young, yeah.
Yeah, like she just maybe she graduated college, maybe she graduated from LSU. So.
Yeah, and that's why I brought up the point. I'm like, Elaine Thompson-Herah, I think she's like 29. Yeah, she's 29. What's her name? Shelly Ann Frazier, the chick who came in second. She's 34.
Sha'Carri Richardson's 21.
Yeah, it's like she got so much time to like just keep training, just keep working at your craft, becoming the best possible version, and don't let these narratives get in your way. But I just think it's like us as, I don't know if it's Black people or Americans. It's one of the two, or maybe Black Americans. But it's just like we're so quick to champion people before they really had a chance to do anything. And that's why I'm like, we put her up like she's the GOAT. When I'm like, all she won is an NCAA final. I'm like, y'all can't tell me anybody else who won an NCAA final. It's like, just to be honest. So that's why I'm like, that's no shade or nothing. It's just like, realistically, she hasn't even got a chance to compete at the highest levels yet. And we crowned her. And then now we're looking like, and then she let that kind of get to her head of like, yeah, I'm it. I'm her. When it's like, you gonna be there. Like, let it happen,
A great example of that, I was watching the Lenny Cook documentary this past week, and man, I definitely recommend it to everybody if you haven't seen it by now. I believe it came out either in 2013 or 2016. Beautiful, beautiful film, man. And it teaches like just a valuable life lesson of like what Mo was saying, like not celebrating before you cross the finish line. No pun intended here talking about track and field, but man, have y'all seen it? Have any of y'all seen it? The Lenny Cook doc yet?
No,
gotta watch it.
That is.
Gotta watch it.
Happy.
Lenny exactly. Which is the point? Oh, Jelani,
he's a comedian, right?
No. Lenny Cook was a basketball player.
I'm thinking of as another one.
Yeah, and he was in the late '90s, early 2000s, and he came up around the time of LeBron and them, and he was like the top ranked player in the country, like high school player. It was like LeBron was number one after camp, and he was number two, and Melo was number three. And so he had like ESPN crews following him and stuff like that. And dude just kind of career didn't go the way he was supposed to go,
So I think I might have seen.
Yeah, you probably at least seen his picture on like a YouTube thumbnail, like this guy was ranked ahead of LeBron, and where is he now?
Yeah, I've definitely seen that.
Yeah. So yeah, he has a documentary out, and I just watched it this week because I was watching Melo on All the Smoke, and Melo brought him up. So I was like, man, I gotta watch that Lenny Cook doc. Great doc. 10 out of 10 recommend. But yeah, it's the same thing of us uplifting people and championing them, crowning them before they even done anything. And I think, if anything, being from the Atlanta area has taught us is not to celebrate before anything is over. So that's all I have. That's my final thoughts. If you guys have any other final thoughts for this week, now is the time to let it out.
Oh no, I just want to say to all the viewers, we love you guys. Thank you. One viewer at a time. We appreciate you. Subscribe to my boy's channel.
Shoot, I ain't really. Hey, y'all pretty much said it, man. Hey, shout out to the viewers. Shout out to everybody listening. And we're gonna go ahead and work to get this on all podcasting platforms as well soon.
Yes.
For sure. Oh, my bad, Mo. Go ahead and finish.
I was gonna say last thing. Did y'all see a video of the Taliban partying to Drake?
See, I didn't know if that was
I didn't know if it was real. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's an interesting Drake song to take over an establishment too. You know what I mean? In my feelings.
I was like, bro, they finna hijack Air Drake, bro. Taking him straight to Afghanistan.
No, that junk was like, what did they say? The comment was like, man, just wait until they hear the intro of Jumpman.
Right. Taliban.
Someone else was like, if they like discovered YoungBoy, then we're all dead. But yeah, man, that was crazy. That was a crazy video, and yeah, I appreciate that left turn that Mo took this episode with that.
No, we gotta get the political analysis, man. We gotta.
Got to. There's things going on in the world. They have to acknowledge it, and then go right back into Drake's group chat. But also the other thing I wanted to say, I was on the phone with Joel this week, y'all, for all the subscribers and stuff. And Joel was talking. He was talking to Ash, and Ash was like, Rashad done replace us. No, Rashad did not replace anybody. Joel is taking a break from the channel because, the original reason he took the break, but also because literally the debates kept going in circles. They kept saying the same thing. UConn did this to South Carolina in 2019. What about the year before? And it was the same debate, like for the last month that they were on. So we were just kind of waiting closer to the season for them to have some new stuff to talk about. Joel said he'll be back soon. He's been saying soon for like a month now, so I'm not trusting it. I'm kind of looking forward to like closer to when the season starts. Those guys are not off the channel. That stuff is this whole different thing where we're talking about.
Man, Rashad got podcast beef.
Right? I just want to clarify to all the subscribers what's going on, because like I can imagine if I never addressed it and I just showed up with two different people and they're like, what the heck is going on here? Joel and Ash are still on, all that good stuff. So
this man said, Joel, I don't know when he coming back. Don't look.
Man, the instigator, like the lady at the Rams game who threw the drink or whatever. But yeah, man, that's it. It's the same old. It's just it's a different thing, a different element of whatever that we're at. So if you're new to the channel, as always, this is the road to 2K subs. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Do your research on the vaccine. At this point, you should have done it. Get it. Get it if your doctor say you can get it. I know some people they can't. They had to wait a little while because they're chemicals and stuff like that. But if you have nothing wrong with you to get it, and you've been getting them all your life, but you were too young to remember that you have, just get it. You're not smarter than scientists and other people, and it's not an American thing. I think that's also a problem here. Like some people think that it's an American government thing to get Black Americans. That's not the truth. This is literally something that's going on throughout the world. The vaccines are being given out. A lot of countries can't even afford them. So you're in a country where they're being offered up to you for free. Go ahead, take advantage of it. It's free healthcare. It's the closest thing you're going to get to free healthcare in America. And it's not just a thing that's targeting American people. Do your research. Read.
It's not the mark of the beast.
Thank you. Read some. Open a book or Google. You all went to grade school. You know what the resources are. If it's .gov, you can trust. If it's .cdc or edu or something like that, you can trust it. If it's .com or something random, and if it's from someone whose entire page is like Kobe Bryant was killed by Al Qaeda as part of a conspiracy with the QAnons so Donald Trump wouldn't be reelected, you know what to trust and what not. I hope so. If you're on this channel, I hope you have good enough sense, man. But not gonna get out of this thing if you don't want to get the shot, if you don't want to wear a mask, just use common sense. You got to do one or the other, man. That's my little rant because we've been in this thing for 2 years, and it's messing up everybody's money. So unless you want the money, it comes full circle. Pocket watching. If you want to continue to be broke and mess with other people's money, don't do the research. Be lazy. But yeah, that's all I have. Anything else, Jelani?
Oh no, peace and love to the people, man. That's it. You know what I mean?
Mo.
Nah, I'm good.
All right, guys, be easy.
All right.